This is my review of AC/DC's album Let There Be Rock. It was released in Australia in 1977. This is the US version, though I don't have the Australian version. It was produced by Harry Vanda and George Young, and this is their last album with bassist Mark Evans. I think he plays on Jailbreak too, but I'll talk about Jailbreak later on when I get around to reviewing that. Anyway, I was thinking about it before starting this video, and like this was another album that I didn't listen to a lot when I was really into AC/DC, but it's kind of weird because AC/DC was like the first band I really got into, and so when I was into them, I wasn't really like listening to full albums yet. I kind of would just like pick out the songs that I liked on the albums, and this is definitely an album that I had early on of theirs growing up because I borrowed my dad's copies, and this was one of the ones that he had. So I know I listened to it probably all the way through back then, but I really don't remember listening to it a whole lot, other than the songs that I know from it that I liked a lot. But on listening to it again this time, I actually enjoyed it more than what I remembered. I still don't know if I like it quite as much as High Voltage, and I'm not sure if I like it more than Dirty Deeds or not at this point, though. I do think it sounds a little bit better than those albums. If you've watched my reviews of those albums, I think they sound like a little thin. This album sounds kind of fatter and just sounds better. I think the album starts with the song "Go Down." It's a pretty good opening track, not one that I remember a lot from listening to it before, and I don't think it's like an extremely memorable song, but it's not bad. It's a good opener, and it's kind of just a good hard rock song. Like that's one of the thing about this album. I think a lot of people really like it because whereas like High Voltage and Dirty Deeds had like kind of slower blues songs in parts of them, this album's all just like heavy guitar rock, and it doesn't have any of the like slower songs, which kind of I think is something that like played against me liking it a little bit when I was younger, because I do kind of like albums with a little bit more variety usually, which I mean AC/DC doesn't tend to have a lot of variety, but you know, anyway, that's just kind of something that a lot of people really like about it, but kind of made it probably not one of my more favorite ones growing up, but now I kind of appreciate more. Anyway, the second song, Dog Eat Dog, is one I like more now. I kind of used to not like it that much. It's got some pretty cool drumming on it from Phil, though. I like it a lot now. The third song, Let There Be Rock, is definitely the one I probably used to listen to the most, the title track. It's great. I love the guitar parts on it. And I don't know, just the whole band playing on it sounds great. Bond's lyrics are pretty funny and entertaining. Great performance by him on it. It's just a great AC/DC song, great title track. The fourth song, Bad Boy Boogie, is another one that kind of didn't remember that much, but definitely listening to it this time, I really liked it. I thought it had some really cool guitar. The fifth song, Problem Child, is I think this song is only on the American version of this album. I think that there's a different song on like the other versions, but I've never heard the other versions. I'm pretty sure I've read that before. And the song was already on Dirty Deeds, so that was kind of something that always bothered me about this version of the album. And kind of put it down in my ranking a little bit as far as where it stacks up with the other AC/DC albums, because there's a repeat song. But I mean, it's not a bad song, it's a good song, but it's just, I think it fits better in the context of Dirty Deeds, the album, because on this album it sounds a little thinner than the rest of the songs, so it kind of interrupts like the flow of this album a little bit, whereas on Dirty Deeds it fits with the other songs a little bit better. So I usually tend to skip it when I listen to this album. The sixth song, Overdose, is one I like. It's not extremely memorable. I kind of, for some reason, the intro of it and then kind of like the outro of the song remind me of Rock and Roll Damnation from the next album that I'm going to talk about, Power Age. But overall, it's a pretty good track. The seventh song, Hell Ain't a Bad Place to Be, is one of my favorite AC/DC songs, one of my favorite Bond songs. Um, the bit in the intro are these things like the Hey You, Yeah You thing, and just a great AC/DC song. It's like usually AC/DC, if they have like hell or rock in the title of the song, then it's like a really good song for some reason. And the eighth and final song, Whole Lotta Rosie, just another great AC/DC song, another classic, funny Bond vocal. Was always really one of my favorite tracks of theirs. I'm trying to see what I wrote about it because I didn't listen to this right before I filmed it. I'm having so much like time or trouble finding time to film that I couldn't like listen to the whole album and then still get this done. I really like the solo. Yeah, I like the guitar solo, and I like most of Angus's solos. He's got some pretty good ones. Anyway, the album, like part of me kind of like, I want to rank it like 4 out of 5, but I've ranked all the albums 4 out of 5 so far, so I think I'm going to give this one a 3 out of 5, just because, probably just this version, the US version, because it has Problem Child on it, which was already on Dirty Deeds, and that really bugs me. So the other version might like rank higher for me. I just haven't heard it yet. But overall, it's a good album. It's a good hard guitar rock album. I think a lot of people probably really like it for that. But for me, it's not really my favorite AC/DC album. And it's probably towards like the lower of the end of the Bond albums for me, which tend to like the Bond albums a little bit better. But this isn't really one of my favorite ones, but I do still like it. It's got some really good tracks on it. Definitely check it out if you're into like just good loud guitar rock.